They have 8 regulation wins in 27 games.
Uh-huh. Yeah. It's more than Columbus, I guess.
Put a banner up. It's more than
Columbus.
More
Same
than
as
Columbus.
Toronto. There we go.
Yeah. Listen, we've got a couple banners to hang. We can hang banners about having more regulation wins than Columbus, and we can also hang banners about snarky tweets about who won trades. That's what we've got right now.
Yes.
The Sabres
and
lose.
forcing other teams to have players-only meetings.
Yes.
Once in a while.
Not last night, though. The players in Philly had a party last night. Well, the Sabres lose in Philadelphia, and it was ugly. And we'll talk to Paul Hamilton about it later today. We'll wake him up for this. Now they head off for a big road trip, and, out to the Western Conference. So now it's Sabres After Dark. So now you can watch these kind of outcomes potentially.
At midnight.
Right.
Even better.
Even better. Paul's article on our website is the headline, Sabres best players wilted. So there you go. He's got stuff to say about, I'm sure, Rasmus Dahlin and Tage Thompson. I know Owen's got some stuff to say about Tage today.
He had a tough moment on the goal in the first period. A pretty tough moment.
And a mic'd up moment. The game's on TNT.
Yep.
I saw Paul Bissonnette called the Sabres defense the softest in the league, which that's not actually their problem. Is it?
What is their problem? What is their problem? Haven't they been better defensively this year?
What is their problem? I feel like you're having a conversation. Like, what is with that guy? What's his problem?
Right.
Hey, good morning. It's Jeremy and Joe. If you want to start here, you can. Hey,
we could.
We could. Here's their problem. I'll give you a part of their problem. Part of their problem is they might view themselves the same way that probably too many people view them, which is they win 2 games in a row, and then they think they're maybe good.
Right.
And they've said this. Tage did say that.
He said it.
Like 2 weeks ago. We win a couple games, and we think we're too good. And the Sabres fans will see this, all right, we're so back. I think half of it's kidding, of course. But
yeah,
whenever there's like year 6 of this team is so confusing to me. Confusing? Are you confused that the Jets won a game? The New York Jets, sorry. Are you confused that let me ask this. Sabres. You know who the Sabres are? Yeah. The Sabres are the Steelers. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing every year.
Yeah.
Don't be confused. What's to be confused about? Oh, this time it's Aaron Rodgers. Oh, all right. This time it's going to be Josh Norris. Oh, this time it's we signed DK Metcalf. Oh, this time Cody Hodson's ours. Whatever. Like they're the same team every year.
Yeah.
And you're all coming at me because I called like 4 games must wins, and then want to go for 5.
Is that the same as I just picked a random drought bill season? Just a random year. You want to know the random year I picked?
Sure.
2007. No, not having any clue like what the schedule is going to look like. I just grabbed 2007.
The Bills 2007 season?
Yeah.
That's the year they get T.O.
No, that's 09, I think.
I'm pretty sure he signed March 1st, 2007. Maybe March 1st, 2009? Okay, fine.
I was pretty sure that it was 2009.
Okay.
But anyways, the point here is, 2009 for T.O. They started 1-4 that year. Then they hit their bye.
Monday Night Football.
Yep, and then they hit their bye, and then they won 4 games in a row. Was everybody going, this team is so confusing?
I'm so confused
or
by
was
this
it,
team.
Hey, this is year 3 of Duran. Like, this is what they are. Good teams that aren't that good, especially in hockey, where if you play enough games, if you're not that good, you're going to play enough games where you're going to look amazing every third game, and you're going to rattle off a 3-game win streak a couple times a year, and then you're going to lose other games, and then everyone's going to be throwing their hands up like, why is this team not like this every night? It's because every team in the league looks like this some nights, and the best teams are the ones that look like that the most often. Mm-hmm. That's it. That's hockey. We've really been doing this long enough that we should know that this team overall is not. And maybe the Tage comments, the worst part of them would be that I guess they still think after all this time that they're like one of the most talented teams in the NHL. Because they're nowhere near that, and I hope they know they're nowhere near that. I think Tage and Dahlin might have a right to not think that way because they are 2 of the most talented players in the league. But everybody else should not be thinking like, man, we really should be a playoff team. Like, no, you as a group have to overachieve to be a playoff team. I think that's how they should be looking at it. And maybe they have a little bit more this year. I don't know. They've been injured, but Yeah, Tage last night with that one moment, not back-checking after the turnover, is maybe his toughest look of the season. He doesn't have a lot of those, but that was definitely one of them.
The Sabres are 11, 12, and 4.
Yeah.
The second tank team was 9, 16, and 2 at this point. 9, 16, and 2. This team has 8 regulation wins. That team had a bunch of shootout wins. Had 1, 2, 3, 4. That team had 5.
The 14-15 Sabres?
The 14-15 Sabres were 9, 16, and 2 at this point. And then, by the way,
they were about to get hot.
And then they won 4 in a row.
They were about to get hot.
They were 13, 16, and 2.
Yeah, no, there was a stretch, I think, in from November 28th to December 15th of the tank year, they won 7 of 9.
And a team to finish with 54 points.
Yeah, won 7 of 9.
This team is so confusing.
Or 10 of 13 even, if you want to go back to November 15th.
Right.
Right, was that team confusing?
Very confusing. So confusing.
It happens to everybody.
Yeah, I mean, you win a couple of games and you think you're good. Tage said that.
The better reasoning I thought they might be good is we hadn't seen them as a group really all together yet. Like, fully.
Well,
not fully.
One thing about last night's
Norris
game I'd love to talk about, because I did not play hockey at a high level. Owen, you did. And Owen was tweeting last night. He was upset about the mic'd up moment, picking up Tage, talking about how a couple of bad bounces. So if you missed the game, by the way, it was on TNT, which possibility exists. 10 times as many Sabres fans actually were able to tune into last night's game. Ultimately, even more disappointing, right? Maybe you don't have MSG or whatever apps you have to have MSG, and you think, hey, they're on TNT tonight. I can watch. And you got colossally disappointed. So they had Tage mic'd up, and he said basically a couple of bad bounces.
Couple bad bounces. After that third goal from the Flyers that, went off his back, and then they get that chance.
Yeah.
I've never been more frustrated with this hockey team in my life.
Okay, so I want to ask you a couple specific questions about this. We're digging right into the Sabres. You want to call 803-0550. Bad bounce. Are you mad he said that because he didn't chase after it?
Yes.
Okay, because what I would think is, as a hockey player, you have to, even at the highest level, you have to square with the idea that the puck is dumb and bad bounces can crush your season, your game, your dreams. Like, oh, cool, went off a dude's butt and we lost.
Right.
And you have to be like, what are you supposed to do about that? But I guess the thing you're supposed to do about that is like back check if it happens.
Right.
Cover
up for it.
What you're supposed to do about that when you get bad luck or when things get hard is try. You're supposed to try. Right? That's what we all do at work. We try.
Speak for yourself.
Sometimes.
Not assume that the play is over.
Yeah.
A bad bounce means nothing when you don't do anything to neutralize it. When you put no effort forth to get back and change something about the result. And that, in the moment on the bench, is one thing, right? He says it on the bench. I can understand if you're in a game and you're thinking, I gotta, we've got to get past this. I'm going to just say it's a bad bounce so that we can not get down on ourselves. What I came in this morning and read is that he said the same thing post-game.
Mm-hmm.
Post-game, after you get embarrassed, after you put that performance on the ice, and you go back to bad bounce.
Yeah.
A bounce? You had 2 chances to stop that play yourself, and you want to say it's a bounce. This is emblematic of everything that is wrong with this team right now. Nobody wants to take accountability. Their best player on forward can't even understand that he's got to put a hand up and say, yeah, I coasted for 20 feet watching him get a rebound chance. You think a bad bounce is why that goal went in? No, it's because you can't skate. What are we doing? There is nothing more frustrating than a team that cannot figure out their own issue. And they clearly refuse to face head-on that they don't care enough.
Yeah.
They don't care enough. And you can't win. Period. You cannot win. I'm irate.
I saw you were mad last night, and someone wrote in to me like, "Oh, I'm looking for a rant this morning." I said like, "Oh, Owen's got that on. He's got that on lock.
Yeah,
he's ready."
I was texting with one of my best buddies who is an eternal Sabres optimist last night, and I've never heard him dejected about anything with this team. And he asked me like, "How are we supposed to believe in anything from this team after something like that?"
Yep.
I mean, there's countless other issues within this game, but that is it. That right there from Tage is everything. Right. That is the problem.
Well, anytime they get into a position where you're like, all right, hey, you've done something that will allow you to maybe get up off the mat, and what we need you to do is step over this line on the ground. It's not even a bar to clear. You just have to step over a line on the ground. And it's just always too much. Not even competitive in this game. I mean, they did take the lead, of course, right? And then the Flyers score, and Lindy challenges, which we're going to probably talk about that as well.
Yep.
Like a horrific challenge. Horrific challenge that puts them on the penalty kill again. And now, 2-1, 3-1, 3 goals in 59 seconds, and the game's over, pretty much.
Yeah,
right? The game's over. Like
with this team, you're not.
Yes, game's over.
It's done.
The Flyers.
Yeah. There's only so much we can continue to say about it.
Well, that's why I'd said the last couple days after watching Norris have that, I want to call it a breakout game.
Yeah.
We saw him look like a great player. I said, really, here's one thing that I think could rescue them, save them, / bring me back, which would be, hey, wow, the guy you got actually turns out is great. And another great player, I don't know, I don't want to say like any team can get by without caring. But if you have a lot of talent in the NHL, you can probably just find your way to a bunch of wins and make the playoffs. And then it's in the playoffs, if you have these flaws where guys don't care enough, you'll get exposed. But like sheer talent can probably just get you a bunch of wins.
What did Granato used to say? You can outscore your mistakes.
Yeah.
The great teams outscore their mistakes. I think that Tage moment last night happens to every team in the NHL. But there are 16 teams that are so talented that they're going to make up for it. That they're going to get down 3-1, and it's still the first period. We're good. Is Tampa think the game is over when it's 3-1? Like, no, they come back from that probably all the time over the course of 10 years because they have Kucherov.
Right.
The more we get away from it, it looks like the scapegoating of Granato, I mean, you probably knew it at the time.
Yeah.
Was really misplaced. It was really obvious at the time. And it's like, well, all right, it's Lindy. He's won a lot of games in the league. Adams was bullish on, like, I know what the problem is.
Yeah.
And the problem is supposed to be accountability. And, like, what's different?
Right.
Like, Granato actually kind of allowed them to play, don't even worry about accountability. Just score.
Right.
And it almost worked.
And it might have worked had they kept going with it.
Might have. Yeah.
They just needed a goalie.
They changed.
They needed
and
a
of
goalie.
Course, they've never found a goalie, and it's been a kind of a mess. So, Lindy's5.com. I don't know if you care. If you want this. And the Sabres point pace is 79 right now.
Okay.
In order to get back on track for the goal we set for them to be like a mid-90s point team, to be competitive, to make the playoffs. If you swept your 6-game Western Conference road trip, you would still not be there. You would have to win a home game against Philly upon returning and then beat the Islanders. You have to win 8 in a row to get back to a pace that is 96 points.
Mm-hmm. Now, for the current Atlantic pace, we figured out yesterday that to get to that pace, they have to go 30-21-5. Well, now it's 30-20-5.
And that's
to get to the third Atlantic spot for what they're currently on pace
What's
for.
that pace? The
91.
91, okay.
91 is what Ottawa is on pace for.
Well, if you want to get just to 91, if you win 4 in a row, you're on pace for 92.
All right.
So you got to win 4 in a row to get to that incredibly low bar.
And that's right, assuming that nobody else between you and Tampa is going to figure out something and channel more and go on a run and push that pace up to like 95, 96, which is also possible.
803-0550. I was going to go to Marty Westenica, but he just dropped off. He was going to talk about the soft defense, the idea that they're so soft as a team, which Bissonnette said that about them, that their defense core is so soft. How much of the defense is soft?
I really haven't thought that about them this year.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Let's make a pie. What percentage of the pie that the Sabres defense is soft comes down to one player alone, and that's Owen Power? How much of that perception is that guy plays a lot of minutes and people think he's not a rough player? Is it 80%?
It's a lot of it.
Okay.
It's a lot of it.
It maybe used to be less, and I think now it's probably more.
Is it 93% of the narrative?
Because Samuelson used to be a part of it, I think, and now he's having a year where he's clobbering people in front of the net, and he's taking dudes out in the corner.
Dahlin is never soft.
No,
Dahlin's
never
probably
for a
too
second.
far the other way.
Kesselring we haven't seen enough of, but
He's not known as that.
That's what I mean. So when you say the Sabres, Paul Bissonnette says the Sabres defense is the softest in the league, and you think the Sabres are a soft team, just say one guy. Just say you think it's one guy.
And I'm almost tempted to think he's not even really saying soft in a physicality way. I think he's more talking about soft coverage, soft, like just they don't bear down back there. Like they hit guys, like we just said, they've got guys that are big and heavy and play a little mean. And I think it's more about, and this is where he's right, that they constantly have lapses in judgment in their D zone that cost them goals constantly. I mean it's far too common for them to just leave a guy alone in front like we saw last night. And I think that is where you can absolutely call them soft. And that's appropriate, and they should be called soft because their D zone is soft right now. But I think a lot of the fan perception is absolutely all centered around Power just isn't. He's a big giant dude that doesn't hit people, and people don't like it. Period. And I get it, but it doesn't make the whole defense core soft because of that. I struggle with that, and Power has not. He's been struggling recently, and it's not helping his case because I tend to be a little higher on him than most people because he does a lot of really great things with the puck. He breaks the puck out really well. He just doesn't defend very well. And now he's not really doing any of those good things with the puck, and he's still defending poorly. And so now it's really easy to point to him and go, like, what's going on here?
You'd also like him to have a little bit offensively for you, right? Like, I don't need him to be Dahlin and putting up 70 points, but is he not supposed to be at least like a 40, 50-point defenseman back there?
I mean,
and he hasn't had a point in 10 games. 0 points in 10 games. I mean, that's a supplementary part of this.
You don't.
I think
he's
he's
that for that.
Yeah,
you
I
don't
think
pay what you pay for him.
He's a big part of the fan perspective from that. Is like Bissonnette said that last night. We all think that's their biggest problem right now?
No. I mean, no, they've got a handful of problems.
I mean, it's not like they are near the top of the league in fewest goals allowed. They are not. So I don't want to make this argument that they are great and stout defensively. Like, what is their biggest problem?
What is their biggest problem?
I think it's the Tage. Like,
they don't care enough.
They don't care enough. I like, it's hard to say that, but what have you seen to indicate that they do?
But if they were a bad team, how would we decipher whether they care or not? Like that Tage moment?
Sure.
How many times this year has Tage done that? Once?
Well, it hasn't been
how many
that
times has he
blatant
been like? How many times has he been like disconnected? That's a good question. We'll talk. Let's Paul
on a night-to-night basis. Is Tage and Dahlin seem disconnected? Dahlin might seem too far the other way. You would argue,
right?
I think Dahlin gets too hot. At times,
and if he is disconnected,
so what's better?
The moments he has been maybe disconnected, he has a legit personal issue going on with family that we know about.
Right.
Yep.
That he's playing through.
He has always run hot on the ice. Though.
Sure,
for sure.
And he did last night too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, next question. We'll get to more calls on this at 803-0550. A little bit of Sabres talk because, hey, they were on TNT, so maybe more of you were able to give an opinion here. And we'll get to the Bills because the injury updates on the Bills were a mixed bag. The Joey Bosa timeline looks not great. Not great at all. So we'll get to that. But the thing I wanted to ask you going to the break was this. If you thought you've assembled a team that's talented enough, and sure, they've been injured and all this, but if you feel like the thing I've got right here is a motivation problem, or I've got guys that aren't bought in enough, we've done this a million times where we said like, well, They've been around losing too much, of course, which, like people try to blame the tank, and every year we get away from the tank, it's quite obvious. Like,
I did see a tweet yesterday that Tage Thompson's been here long enough. He played with Patrick Berglund.
Okay. Well, he was in the Berglund trade.
Oh, right.
So
that's right.
Yeah, right. Yeah. What I was going to say is, we could talk about they're around losing too much. A team that wants to rescue this probably fires its coach.
Probably.
Right? That's what a team that thinks, we got talent, and I'm just not seeing the fire. I'm going to fire my coach. Yeah. That's what you do in the NHL.
But you got a GM that's not getting another coach.
He's not getting another coach, and it's a coach you can't fire.
Right.
But you could.
You think so?
It would be cutthroat, but what would Vegas do?
Well, right.
Vegas would do it. They would say,
Vegas
feelings be gone. We need to win games.
Vegas wouldn't have hired the coach. Vegas would do a million things different.
Right.
Probably
that's right.
the best point there.
The reality is, if you want something to change, you would fire the coach.
Right. But you've also got a GM that's been.
You would also, of course, fire the GM.
You would fire the GM
but if
first, and you would let him get a coach.
But in season, let's turn it around. Firing the coach is a move. And the Sabres have never done it. When's the last time the Sabres fired a coach in season with the hope it would turn? Not because it's gone too far.
Because that was Kruger.
Kruger was 12 straight losses.
Right.
Mid-season coaching fires, 12 consecutive losses for
Every
Kruger.
time I'm reminded, it took that many losses.
They don't fire a coach in the middle of the season to try to turn things around. Could they have done that for Phil Housley? Of course they could have. Phil Housley had them in a great spot, and then everything went south, and Jason Botterill could have just pulled the chute.
Yep.
Let's see if we can change it. Never did. Mid-season coaching fire is something that the last GM to do that is Darcy with Lindy.
Right.
It was like the 7th game of the year.
They lost to Winnipeg.
Yeah,
they fired Lindy
early.
and installed Ron Ralston, and I don't know if they were intending to go to the bottom at that point, but clearly they did not turn it around. But real teams fire a coach to try to change things, especially if the coach is not going to be back the following year, which I think, wouldn't we all say right now that's incredibly unlikely?
Yeah.
He coaches them next year.
I'd be stunned.
A team that wants to change, a real team, fires a coach. Of course, the GM doing that is you want to say fire the GM, you could do that too. But if Terry Pagula today fired Kevin Adams, would Jarmo Kekalainen's first job be I'm going to fire this coach? I need to change something in the room.
Yeah.
A real team, a real GM would make all right, we got to do something here.
That's how you cover for also if you wanted to move up from Lindy, is he's not the headliner. Firing the general manager who's been here for 6 years is the headliner, and Lindy is a footnote underneath, while Jarmo brings in Tortorella.
Anybody fired in the NHL this year yet?
I don't think so.
Don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so.
This is around when you get one, though.
Yeah.
Actually, there's many years where you do get one earlier. In fact, I'm pretty sure Jarmo Kekalainen, when he hired Tortorella, I think he fired the coach that he replaced him with 6 games into the season.
Were they 0-6?
Something like that, I'm sure. Yeah.
Right.
Hey, look, we've got a problem. Do something. The Sabres don't really do that mid-season. It just doesn't happen. 803-0550, if you want to give us a thought on this, you can. Jeremy and Joe, happy Thursday. Don't blame me. I called it a must-win.
God, this was all a 20-minute distraction to not blame Jeremy. Now I get it.
Now you're back?
It's back to, it's your fault.
Fire me as the must-win.
You can't,
guy.
you know now at least, right? You know you can't say it again.
I'm doing it 10 more times.
How many in a row could they really lose?
What if it brings about change? Would you then support it? And when I used to call the games must lose, people got really mad at me. So, come on.
Tortorella fired Kekalainen in 2015, so 10 years ago, fired Todd Richards after an 0-7 start.
Bang.
October 21st, he fired a coach.
Envision a world where the Sabres do that.
In October, fire
a coach in October instead of saying, we're going to get the answers are in the room.
Yeah.
All right, 803-0550. Jeremy and Joe on WGR.